Hello and welcome to another episode of Wargames Geek. Today I'm going to show you my 28mm Roman army by Warlord Miniatures. Well, no Roman army is complete without a unit of cavalry, and here I have a unit of 12 Roman cavalry figures. One has a standard, and there's a number of different figures in the unit, all doing different things. This chap here is just holding his sword ready to charge into battle, and I've done him in the usual way, which is to give him a single layer of base coat, to quick shade dip them, and then a matte varnish followed by basing, and then they're ready to be put on the table for gaming. The unit at the front here is a unit of skirmishers, and with these guys I've done them in a kind of yellow base because it really picks up the quick shade really nicely. And the shield decal I bought separately outside of the box set in green, just to give the army a bit of sort of diversity with the colours. So these guys are in chainmail, and the quick shade just sinks really well into the chainmail and just saves you hours and hours of dry brushing. And as you can see, they certainly look good enough for tabletop wargaming as a good standard. The Centurion here is done in the sort of standard red colour with a yellow cloak, and you can see his campaign medals on his chest in bronze there. Looks like a nice figure. And then this is the standard bearer with a lion cloak, and I printed off the label for the front of his standard there. Found that on Google, just printed it off and scaled it down to size to fit the figure. And then we have the unit musician, who has a horn to keep the soldiers into step while they're marching, and he's got a fox cloak on there, which looks rather nice with the shading. So moving along to the next unit of Roman legionaries, I've done these guys with black shields. Again, it's not something you normally see, and I just thought they'd look really nice, and it was something completely different, so I went with that. And this is a Centurion for this particular unit, again with his campaign medals on his chest, and he's all in yellow. I've done the yellow cloak again, and as you can see, the shading has really taken very well to this particular character. The shields leaves a little bit to be desired. That was one of the first ones that I did. And then here we have one of the Roman legionaries with his plate armour, and what I did with these guys was I sprayed them all with the silver primer first, so that it just takes so much time out of the painting that you have to do, particularly when you're doing large armies like this. And it's not just the painting of the figures, it's actually putting everything together, the building of the figures, gluing them all together, getting them on the bases and everything else, so anything to save a bit of time. So here we now have some of the Roman archers, and you'll have seen me painting these, one of these guys in an earlier video. They've got chainmail on, and they've got the composite bow, sort of small composite powerful bow, and nice easy figures to paint again. This one in particular has a little moustache, so he had some whiskers, and basically there's two rows, if you like, or two ranks or two files. They've got standing and kneeling figures, so I just put them in two ranks with the kneeling chaps in front, and they come up quite well, and I'm pleased with how they look. So we'll take a quick look at the next unit of legionary troops, and as you can see, a sort of small size unit there again. The guys here have got the red shields, the red tunics, and the segmenta armour again, and again just dipped in quick shade, one coat of paint, based and ready for the gaming table. So they are really straightforward and nice and easy to do. Moving on then to the next unit, and these are the Emperor's Praetorian guards, so the Emperor's own guards with their oval shields. This is the Centurion from that unit. I had quite a bit of trouble with the transfers, the shield transfers for these particular guys, but we got there in the end, and as you can see, just again a basic paint job, nice bit of basing, and tabletop ready. The next chap in this little group is the standard bearer, and he has been painted with a wolf cloak, which I've done in kind of a grey colour, and the shading there looks very, very good. I'm pleased with that, and all ready to go out and protect the Emperor from the barbarian hordes. And then the final thing to show you then is the Ballistas that are up on the hill behind the foot soldiers, and here's a closer look at those. These were painted on larger bases, or fixed to larger bases, and let's just pick that one up and have a sort of closer look at that. Again, the shading works well on the ballista machine as well as it does on the figures, and yeah, that's a sort of a rough idea of how that looks. And then we have one of the crew members here. He's looking off into the distance to see what target they're trying to get this ranged weapon to hit, and nice bit of shading on his clothing there. And then the other chap who's kneeling down, he's having a little look around as well, and again, as you can see, the shading from the paints and all that there, looking rather nice. I'm really pleased with those. And then these two guys, I just wanted to show you some sort of work in progress stuff. These two guys are yet to be based, so they've been painted, they've been shaded. Just need to do the bases on these two. So another centurion and another standard bearer. Again, this guy's got a lion cloak. It looks the business. I'm really pleased with how he's come out. And so that's pretty much all of the figures, and I hope you enjoyed the video.